You say that people are going to be mobile, and yet the Republican candidate in America is talking about building a wall between Mexico and North America. We're on the eve of a vote about whether or not Britain stays in the EU. So on the one hand, you have a vision of the world opening up and becoming more of one community, and yet politically what we're seeing right now is a moment where people are hunkering down and putting up barriers.
I think maybe we should just start by asking a question. Think of a child somewhere in the world today and ask yourself, in 20 years, in 30 years, what kind of world is that child going to live in? Do we think that those kids, when they grow up, are going to want to have this sense of nationalism where they do not want to interact with people in any other country in the world? Is that really sustainable? And I think if you just look to our youth, to young people, they are showing us a path. And they are no longer just national citizens. They're of course national citizens. But increasingly, and what we're seeing, is that people also want to be global citizens. Because this world is getting smaller as this world is getting connected. And anyone that's going to try to put up a wall or put up a barrier between countries or cultures, I think is going to be on the wrong side of history.
But what's amazing about VR is when you start to think about it beyond even a storytelling platform, but almost as an operating system. You know, what does Facebook, for instance, look like, feel like in virtual reality? How do you start to think about it, beyond just a medium to tell stories and to really reinvent not just creativity, but as we like to say at Samsung, communication, commerce, or compassion. One of the most amazing uses of VR, which to be honest, I would never have guessed a year and a half ago, is the way non-profits like Charity Water or Tom Shoes are actually using virtual reality to immerse yourself into what it feels like to be a 9-year-old girl who has to go every day to fetch dirty water, and bring it back to her village, and how it feels when finally there is a well and there is water, or what it feels like not to have shoes, and the feeling of getting your first pair of shoes, and then using this to immerse an audience to actually raise money for the mission of their non-profit, as Tom Shoes and Charity Water do. So the way we see our role as Samsung is really, we want to be that instigator, that catalyst to help accelerate the content creation and the content consumption of 360 and virtual reality.
Even if we don't give a shit about culture, even if we say, it's all about making money, like I don't give a shit about humanity, I don't care about if the world is more beautiful or not beautiful, all I want to make is more money. And that actually applies if you're a student here, that applies if you're a junior designer, that applies if you're a senior designer, if you're a creative director. The point that I want to drive home is that it doesn't matter if you do it out of selfish reasons or if you do it out of cultural reasons, but it will work better. Like if you embrace beauty, the stuff that you do will be more successful, you will be more wealthy, and on top of it, you will make the world a more beautiful place.
You talk about a sort of, we live in a world today where everything is fragmented. We live in a fragmented world, which is incredible in many ways. But what you need in that fragmented world is a big idea that holds everything together. And people talk about media neutrality. Oh, I'm media neutral. An idea has to appear and start somewhere. An idea can't be media neutral. It has to start somewhere. You write a book, you do a painting, you put up a building. An idea has to start somewhere. And I think cinema offers us the most amazing place to start an idea because it's culturally important, and what you're trying to do, if you're in brand marketing, you're trying to make your brand culturally important, and the cinema is the place to do that. And that's why I think it's so fantastic.